hell? What are those? What are those?
My dress robes.
Well, they're all right. No lace, no dodgy little collar.
Well, I expect yours are more traditional.
Traditional? They're ancient. I look like my great Aunt Tessie. Smell like my great Aunt Tessie. Murder me, Harry.
Leave it alone.
Poor kid. Bet she's alone in her room, crying her eyes out.
Who?
Hermione, of course. Come on, Harry. Why do you think she wouldn't tell us who she's coming with?
Because we take the mickey out of her if she did.
Nobody asked her. I would have taken her myself if she wasn't so bloody proud.
Hello, boys. Don't you look dashing?
Oh, here you are, Potter. Are you and Miss Patel ready?
Ready, Professor?
To dance. It's traditional that the 3 champions, well, in this case, 4, are the first to dance. Surely I told you that.
No.
Oh, well, now you know. Oh, as for you, Mr. Weasley, you may proceed into the Great Hall with Miss Patel. Oh, there you are.
Come on, then.
Come along this way. Yes. Now, I need you all to line up in the procession, please. Oh.
She looks beautiful.
Yeah, she does.
He's using you.
How dare you? Besides, I can take care of myself.
Doubt it. He's way too old.
What? What? That's what you think?
Yeah, that's what I think.
You know the solution then, don't you?
Go on.
Next time there's a ball, pluck up the courage and ask me before somebody else does. And not as a last resort.
Well, that's just completely off the point. Harry.
Where have you been? Never mind, off to bed, both of you.
They get scary when they get older.
Ron, you spoiled everything!
What's this about?
Hey there, LEGO fans and Potterheads. I'm the lawyer in the LEGO Shed, and this is the 46th in a series of videos I'll be making as I build my way through the magical world of LEGO Harry Potter. I have been collecting the Harry Potter LEGO line since it started back in 2001 with the release of the very first movie, and for this video series, I'll be building sets that have been part of the more recent waves of Harry Potter LEGO, beginning in 2018 and stopping with the 2023 releases. The plan is to go in movie order, and so, without further ado, let's get started. Today we're looking at set number 75981, LEGO Harry Potter Advent Calendar from 2020. This is the second Harry Potter Advent Calendar they released, and it depicts several different things and people that are related to the Yule Ball. Released in 2020, this set has 335 pieces and a total of 6 minifigures, three of which are unique to this set. Well, this is technically the second LEGO Advent Calendar released for LEGO. It's actually the fourth that we've covered in this particular series as we've been going in movie order. It will also probably be the last that we'll cover since the one that was released in 2022, which is 76404, had a number of mini builds that spanned the entire film series and didn't really focus on a particular scene or moments from one singular movie. This Advent Calendar has the highest piece count of any of the LEGO Harry Potter line Advent Calendars, and to date is the only one to focus exclusively on the Yule Ball. Moving on to a set overview, there's obviously 24 different builds or little presents that came along with this advent calendar. And of those 24 component parts, there's basically three main groups. There are mini builds that are related to the Triwizard Tournament. There's a Christmas fireplace scene, and there are people and items that are related to the Yule Ball itself. So I figured we could just kind of go through those different groups together as we walk through the set. Starting first with the Triwizard Tournament mini builds, we've got about 5 of those. And first, we have 3 different representations of the various schools that competed in the tournament itself. So we've got a little Hogwarts castle here to represent Hogwarts. We've also got a nice little Durmstrang ship for Durmstrang, and a great little carriage here for Beauxbatons, complete with winged horses and those nice little color elements there. In addition to the 3 builds for the schools, we also have the 2 main vessels, I guess, for the actual tournament itself. We first have the Goblet of Fire, which is done with this nice blue element here of the flame, as well as this nice kind of wood-looking build there for the Goblet of Fire itself. And then we have the actual Triwizard Cup here. Nice trans blue pieces, as well as these snake elements for the handles off to the sides. So, as far as these little guys go, those are the main elements when it comes to the actual mini builds that are related there. We're going to move these to the side as we move on to our next phase here. Next, we've got that nice little fireplace situation, which is super cute. It actually has quite a few component parts. First is the actual fireplace itself with a little stocking over the fireplace hearth there, and then 2 little kind of like windowed / wall areas that are festive and decked out and everything. So we have that first. Then we've got a nice dark red couch that has a golden egg on it from the first task, which we can kind of put right next to our fireplace. Then we have a quaint little table here with a candle on it, pretty small, actually supported by a nice little fez piece there. And then in addition to that, we have a whole host of 4 little presents that are all done in the color scheme of each of the Hogwarts houses. So one for Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and one that is a very obvious wrapped broom for Gryffindor. So great little scene that you can see here of this cozy little fireplace, kind of little moment with the couch and everything and the presents. Works really well and could really kind of spruce up a little room. So great representation there. And finally, we've got the last grouping, which are all items that are related to the Yule Ball. First, we've got 3 different ice and snow encrusted Christmas trees that are in keeping with the design of the Yule Ball and the color scheme there. Then we have a table that has drinks and a table that has appetizers on it. And I'll kind of separate those here because they actually can be pushed together through Technic pins. You can see that there. But we have our little half table with drinks and our little half table with appetizers. Let's put those guys down. From there, we've also got a bunch of instruments and other music-related things for the band. We have a nice little piano with a keyboard, some sheet music, and a little mic and stand for our band to utilize. We also have this really fantastic printed piece that I'll put a nice little picture in here too, advertising the Yule Ball itself. And then we've got the gramophone, the oversized gramophone. Now, I know that this is actually more featured in a separate scene before the Yule Ball takes place, where Professor McGonagall is attempting to teach the Gryffindors how to dance so that they do not besmirch the name of Godric Gryffindor. But it felt natural to include here, given the subject matter of all these other items here. So As far as the actual builds themselves, that rounds out our 3 different groups. We've got stuff for the Yule Ball that kind of is all collectively here. We've got these nice little mini builds, and then we have our kind of Christmas Christmas fireplace or cozy little room layout as well. What I loved about this set, gosh, I would say that as was true with 75948 and 75964, there's a very real part of me that just wants to say that I loved everything about this set. But there were certainly standouts for me. First, this was a set that really I just loved the overall approach. I was so glad that we got a huge portion of this that focused on the Yule Ball, and I thought it made a great companion set to 75948 so that you could really kind of build out that scene. And as part of that, I loved that we, aside from that, got a bunch of other elements that are these fun little mini builds, some of the most inventive ones that I've seen in the entire Harry Potter wave. So beyond just stuff that I can use for building out the Yule Ball, I've also got a few other things that I can utilize just for kind of fun elements for rounding out my Harry Potter Lego collection. Second, I think the mini builds in particular, like I said, were exceptional here. Just the look of the Triwizard Cup even, how they managed to do that, capturing that little translucence to it with the piece they chose to, and then the look of the 3 different school representations that you can kind of see here. I think they all worked really well together. Last, I also thought that the 3 exclusive minifigures for this set were exceptional. We'll talk about those in just a second. But I do want to mention a few things that I didn't love. I felt that half of the minifigs being repeats from 75948 was a bit of a letdown. While I understand why LEGO went this way, given that not everybody's going to buy both the Advent Calendar and 75948, it just would have been really nice to not see the Golden Trio, again, completely repeated, and get a minifig of Roger Davies, who is Fleur Delacour's date to the ball. And we have nothing of him. Everybody else has got a date, but he, for some reason, is not included. And so would have really been nice to see him there. I also would have preferred getting rid of this large gramophone here in favor of getting the other half of these tables. So as you can see in the photo that I'll throw up here, comparing them, we've got an apps table and then we've got a drink table. And they are full-blown all the way around tables, but here they're encouraging you to really just do half and half. So I would have rather seen us get rid of this build, the gramophone, and instead just really round out those tables so that you could fill out the rest of the Yule Ball scene and make it more directly relevant to the scene itself. Last, it would have been nice to get full printing on the girls' dresses, which we'll talk about in just a second. But yeah, aside from those kind of nitpicky things, I ended up having a lot of things that I really liked. We're going to start with our minifigs with the Golden Trio, and we'll cover them pretty quickly because they are identical to the ones that were released in 75948, which we've already covered, so we can see those guys again. For the full breakdown there, you can check out my review on that set, 75948. What I will say here is that the printing on all of their torsos looks great, as does their hair and face. Like, everybody looks really solid on that front. The one flaw that I'll point out with Hermione, however, is that the printing on the back side of her dress, she's got the back side, as you can see here. I'll just take off her hair. She's got the back side on the torso, but not the back side on that 2x1 that's posing as the bottom of her dress. So it would have been nice to see them just really commit to this, especially since they went to the trouble of doing the printing on the back of the torso. It kind of makes it all the more obvious that it's missing when we don't have it included here. So a little frustrating, but, you know, kind of a nitpicky thing. Now let's move on to the exclusive minifigures for this set. First up is Cho Chang, Cedric Diggory's date for this ball. She looks wonderful with her hair and face printing. I will note that her skin tone is a little bit off, which has been discussed in several forums, specifically with how her character is represented in LEGO. But otherwise, this is a good representation of her, I think, for how she appears in the movie. Moving on to her light aqua dress and the wonderful printed details that we have on the torso and on the lower half of this 1x2 brick that's the bottom of her dress. She also has some really lovely printing on the back of her torso. But as you can see, again, we've got a blank bottom portion, which, like Hermione, just feels like a missed opportunity here to really just make these minifigures at the next level, especially when we know that they are willing to do it with Dumbledore and Madame Maxime. Next, we've got Padma and Parvati Patil. Now, at first glance, as you can see them here, these twins with their sari-inspired dresses may look identical, but they're actually opposites of one another. Notice how the salmon and the dark pink are reversed between the two of them on their sashes and then on the tops and the bottoms of their sari dresses. There's also some really wonderful little flower details that you can see along the bottom of the torso and onto the bottom of the dress. Turning them around, we again have continued wonderful printing, but conspicuously missing printing on that lower half. So I think it's worth calling out the fact that now that we've seen it across 4 of the minifigs for this set, 1, 2, 3, 4 girls that are in the same kind of construction, and they're all missing printing there, I think it becomes an error that is just really kind of glaring. I will also say that with the twins, it's a little frustrating in the sense that we got actually just 2 copies of the same head with a dual expression. So basically you just have to flip the heads around to get the different vibe for the twins. But it would have been nice to just see printing that was unique for each twin. Of course, I understand why they don't, but it just would have been nice to see that there. Yeah, so I think the only real beef that I have with particularly this lineup of minifigs is just that decision to not print the backs of those 1x2s on each of those girls in their dresses. For my overall impression, I'd say I just really enjoyed this set. I think it's a nearly perfect companion to 75948 as it allows you to really build out the Yule Ball scene. In fact, I think this is probably my favorite advent calendar they've ever released in the entire history of LEGO Harry Potter. Between the mini builds and the way that so much of it can be integrated into the major portion of the 2018 to 2020 Hogwarts Castle, this just really gave me everything that I wanted out of an advent calendar. But yeah, that's it for the actual set itself. But I figured that since we just finished a major addition to the castle, and there are so many components of this advent calendar that can be integrated into the layout itself, it felt like a good time to show some progress shots of the 2018-2020 castle. So, with the movie magic powers that are, we're going to go ahead and cut right here. All right, and with that, here we have an exterior shot of where our castle looks right now. As you can see here, we've got the set that is the Whomping Willow, we've got the Great Hall, and then we've got the Clock Tower. Now, I've made a few minor adjustments to how these modular components work together so that the set ends up being a little bit more flat than it would be because I have a kind of narrow area that this is going to get displayed on. But just wanted to show you a quick shot of that exterior so that you can see all those parts there. The changes that I made are actually pretty minor to get it to do this. And some of them just involve a little bit of reconfiguring. But ultimately, I think it ends up looking really great as an exterior of the castle. Let's take a second here and we're going to flip around so that you can see the interior and how that Great Hall set works with the Clock Tower set for our Yule Ball display. All right, and now we've gone to the interior we've got the Great Hall set here and the Clock Tower. As you can see, I've got things configured so that we have the Yule Ball set up. We have our nice little dancing figures over here with some of our folks that we can see, from Madame Maxime and Dumbledore to Hermione and Victor Krum and Cedric and Cho. And then we have Harry and Padma, Parvati and Ron, all chilling over here near the tables. Got our trees and everything and our different little apps table and drinks table back here. It's just really wonderful how much you can build out this whole scene now with these two sets together. But yes, I think in the future, one thing I'm going to really try here is to get a Roger Davies minifig, because Fleur is over here all on her own, no one to dance with. But I think that's going to be pretty doable with various versions of flesh tones that they've released and hairstyles. So I'll give it a shot. And that is it for 75981. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are interested in following along on this journey with me, please feel free to go ahead and follow the account. And if there's anything that you think that I should be including in these reviews, please feel free to let me know. But otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and thanks so much for watching.